Hello guys, welcome to my YouTube channel, and once again welcome back to another exciting episode of our designing series in Coreldraw. Of course, in this tutorial I'll be showing you how to design this flyer in Coreldraw with simple steps which I'll be breaking down into stages, so you'll be able to understand even as a beginner, intermediate, or a professional as you are. If you've not subscribed to my channel, please kindly hit the subscribe button and don't forget to turn on the post notifications so you don't miss any of the videos that I will drop in anytime from now. So like you all know, without wasting much of your time, let's walk. Alright guys, so let's head over to Coreldraw and let's head over to opening our Coreldraw software. So because I have mine already open, I'll just go over to where I have mine and I'm going to click here like this. Okay, so I'm going to click on File. I'm going to click on New. So for this exercise, I'll just give it a car sale flyer, right? And everything here stays the same. Primary color mode stays at RGB. Then I'm going to set the size to a 5 by 5 and I'm going to click OK. Resolution stays at 300. Click OK. And guys, don't forget, attached to this video is the resource file I used for this particular design. And also, if you need support and some of you have messaged me recently that you want Coreldraw, so you can also get that in the Telegram group. I posted the link below in the description. So you can do well to click on the link to get the Coreldraw software from the community. Right, so let's continue. I'll double click on my rectangle I have here, come over here and click on the rectangle, so it creates a replica of the same rectangle that we have on our page, right? And I'll just remove the outline here. Now, for the colors I have inside, I would be adding a gradient fill to it. That is what I'm going to start this design with, right? So how do you do that? I'll just go over to my keyboard or straight on my keyboard, not as if you have to go anywhere. On my keyboard, I'll just press G here like this. It brings out the fountain fill. On fountain fill, I'm selecting, of course, the fountain fill here. So I'll select fountain fill, just like this. And of course, it goes ahead to create this weird looking gradient that we would not want to use, right? So what we have to do is come over here to elliptical fountain fill and select elliptical fountain fill, right? Now, so we can just go ahead and change the direction of, because we want to a ray of light, and of course we cannot have a ray of light and the epicenter like this, so we need it coming from this angle. So what you just simply do is drag from this point, make sure it is coming from white to black, just like this, right? If yours is coming from black, this is black and this is white, what you can do is click on this to reverse the fill, right? So click on this button here, but mine is in the right direction, so I'll just click on that to reverse the direction, right? Good. So having done this, I'm going to start by adding nodes and points here to this line, so that I'll be able to add colors to this point. So I'll add 1, 2, 3, and the last one here 4. So in all, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 nodes in general. You can also move this around. You can see when you move the directions, this is what you get, right? So I'll click on this one, the first one, and I will change the color code. So I have 2FO to F0 and 253, and I'll click enter. So this is the first one I have. Immediately click enter, it applies the color directly. You don't need to waste time on that. So I'll go to the next one I have here, and I'm going to click this. And I'm going to set my values like this. So this one is 5D0 F5C F5 then C, and click enter. That's the next part. Going over to the next part, click on this drop down arrow. You can move it to the side like this so you see what you're doing clearly. And this one I have BF2 BF2 right, C71. I'm going to click enter like this, And the next one I have here is, I'm going to drop this down, move this aside so I can have total control of my workspace. And the fourth code is F58B59. So B59, then click enter, and boom, the color comes out. Clicking on this point, I'm going to do the same thing to and enter the next code, which is FF9E. FF9E, that is E. Guys, make sure when you're imputing this code you don't make mistakes, or else you're gonna get another color. So I'm gonna put 54, clicking enter again, and on this last one I'm gonna press it like this and drop down this arrow and impute the last code. The last code there is EC A9 to F. Right, so having done all of this, move this out of the way so we can see what we have. So this is the gradient that I used for this particular design. So having done this, I'll just go over to my pick tool and click on it. So I get rid of the fountain fill and everything. If you want to edit it, you can simply click on the rectangle back and click on G on your keyboard to activate the fountain fill. Good, right? So let me click back on my pick tool. Okay guys, haven't done that successfully. Next thing I want to do is I would like to bring in my text, and just bring in my text to arrange a little thing, bringing my text to arrange a few things around in design. So I head over to my text and I'm going to type what I have to type. Best mobile catalog, and to reduce the space in between the best mobile catalog, first I'll go over to my shape tool and I'll just drag it up like this way, and to reduce the space in between the letters, I'll just bring it like this, and this is what I have. So I'm going to change this font to the one I used, Montserrat, and in case you need this font, you can get it from the community. I'll be posting it in the community, right? So just do well to go ahead and download it from the community, right? So I would make it, before I continue, I would like to use my ruler as a guide to guide me. So I'll just come over to the edge here and drag this ruler from this point to this point, right? So this is exactly where I want my text to be, right? Make it smaller so I don't have anything going outside here. So I'll just give this a white color because of course the black cannot stay on this. So Ctrl C and Ctrl V to copy this. I'll just move this down, holding down the shift key, right? And I'll type before I type, I will use the size. I can do that manually by holding down, by resizing from the edge like this, right? Or I'll just come up here and just change the size. Let me use the 12. Alright, so this is what you have. So instead of using the extra bold, I'm going to use something lesser in weight, right? So I'm going to type find the perfect next line car for you today, right? For you today, just like this, and zoom close. I'm zooming close with my scroll wheel. That's the scroll wheel in your mouse. So it's very, very important that when you're designing, for most of you that have special powers that use your trackpad to design, it's good. Most times I do that too, but if you want to do things professionally and you want to be good at what you do, please get a mouse for yourself. Very important, right? So I'll space this out with my shape tool, of course, and I'm just going to leave it there. I'll zoom out to see what I'm doing in real time. Right, so the next thing I'm going to do is I will bring in my first element for this design, which is this price. So I'm going to drag and drop. If you're using the Windows 11, please kindly head onto File and click on what? Import, right? Because it doesn't give you the privilege to drag and drop. You know, we're just acting cool, like cool kids. We just drag and drop like that, right? So I'm just going to make this bigger, and it's just going to stay here. Now if you see what I'm trying to do well here is actually work with alignment. It's very, very important in your designing. You can see that everything is aligned just like this on a straight file like this, right? Good. So what I will do next is I'll go on to impute the other things in my design. So I might have to just speed this up, and I'll join you later. Okay guys, so there you have it. I have my text arranged and aligned in the right positions that it needs to be in. So let's go on to the rest of the compositions for this flyer. So the next thing I will bring in is the second element for this design that I use, which is this. I'm going to bring in the skyline angle sunlight wallpaper. That's the picture of a road, the PNG picture for a road, right? And I'm just going to drag and drop here like this, right? So this is what I have, and I won't be leaving it inside here. So what I want to do is I want to power clip it inside of this rectangle. So as we've always done before, right click and click on power clip inside, and when this arrow pops up, just select this rectangle. Make sure you're selecting, don't come over here and select, come to a free area in your design and click on it, right? So it targets that area and it puts it inside. So when you're done with that, you can go to edit content, click on edit here on the left side, and this is what you have, right? So with this one now, and with this our ruler that we use as a guide, so I'll make sure I position this in the middle like this. I might want to make this smaller, right? I'm gonna make it smaller like this, and just around this part I'll just position it here like this. And what I want to do is, if I click finish now, you can see it doesn't look realistic, right? So I want to create a fade effect to this. So I'll click on edit, and I'll make it smaller again. I think I still have to make this smaller, and at least somewhere around here. And I'll go over to my transparency tool, and I will hold down shift and drag from white to what? To black, just around this area like this. So when I'm done, I'll just click on finish, and this is what I've created. So I've blended it from the visible area to the less visible area. I might want to increase it, so I'll just go over to that part and turn it up like this, right? So it blends properly, right? I might just move this line, just click on the line and move it so it blends more. When you are done again, just click finish, and this is what you have. I might want to reduce the size of this $60 and bring it down a little bit. Don't want the price to be too glaring, so don't scare people away, right? Right, so this is what we have. So the next thing I'll do is I'll go bring our next element, which is the phone, right? The phone I use for the design, right? So I'm going to go there and bring the phone that I used. I'm going to drag inside like this, and I'm going to drop it here like this, right? And this is what I'm going to have. So I'm going to move it in the right place just like this, and just make sure it's balanced like this. As you can see now, the road that I have here is not matching with the position I want to put the phone. So I'll just go inside there and move it slightly so it creates an illusion as if it's coming inside where the phone. Very good, you guessed that right. So I'm just going to click on finish, and this is what you have, right? So what I need to do again is I need to create I need to make perfect this illusion I'm trying to create, right? So what I want to do is I want to create a scene inside this phone. So what the first thing I need to do is I'll go over to my pen tool, and I will trace out these edges of the phone. So I'm going to start tracing out the edges of the phone just like this. So click, zoom in, and points there, click, drag, and I'm just going to do this round the phone like this and like this, like this. Stay with me, guys. The pen tool is one of the most important tool. No matter the kind of software you're using to design, if you're using Affinity Designer, Photoshop, Illustrator, and even Coreldraw, this tool is one of the most important tool in designing, right? So make sure whatever you do and however you do it, make sure you achieve perfection, right? It's very, very important. You can see how I'm trying to balance the edges, right? See how I'm trying to work my way around the edges, just so like this. So I have a perfect shape that I can put so you can see now I've created a shape inside, so I can give it white just to define the areas which I have created. So I've given it white. This is white. So next thing I have to do is go over to just go over to my resource file and bring in my image that I'm going to be putting inside of that phone. So I'm just going to drag and drop, right? So this is the image I want, right? So I'm just going to move it in place and right click on it, power clip, and click on this white space here, and boom, it goes inside. But I have a problem, it's not sitting well. So what do? Click on edit like this, and I'm just going to move until I have a good point where my where the sun reflection is dominant, just somewhere around here, right? So when I'm done with it, I'll just click finish. As you can see, this is what I want to achieve, right? So I might want to take this up a little bit, so you know what to do, just drag up a bit and place it here. So this is at the point I want. As you can see now, if we match this with this point, you can see that it's almost at the same levels, right? Good. I want to bring this down here a bit, so I'll just move it to this point and I'm good to go. So the next thing we need to introduce is the clouds, right? But before I bring in my clouds, let me bring in my clouds first. So I'll just go over to my resource file, and you see the clouds here. Yeah, so I'll just drag and drop here. Great, right? You might want to zoom out so you can see the full extent. And of course, when you download things like this, there are some websites you get this. Example of a website you can get these images from is iClipArt.com. I'll put the link to the website in the description, so you can also access it to get your resources from. If you don't know what iClipArt is, in my last video that I did, I covered how to download from iClipArt, so you can do well to watch that video to get your way around iClipArt. So let's go on. As you can see now, I have this PNG media blah 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 up here. So to get rid of that, go to your shape tool, and I'll just drag from this point and hold down shift, and boom, it's all gone, just like that, right? So I'm going to make this smaller, just so it fits into. Now I'm going to mark the direction of this light. This is what I'm going to use. So I'm going to center my clouds around where I have the lights. So I'm going to do Ctrl C and Ctrl V. Let me put to page. So I move in place, duplicate this and put this somewhere here. But I'm going to flip this so this part isn't at this point, right? So I'm going to flip it. I'm just going to press this here like this. So as you can see, that is how I flipped it. Then when I flip it, I'm going to click again and turn around like this. So this is where I want this to be. So to make it more realistic, what I need to do is I'll go over to my rectangle tool and I'll draw holding down my control. If I don't hold down control, this is what you get. That is not a rectangle. Hold down control, a perfect circle, and give it white. Remove the outline. Very important. So the next thing I need to do is I'll come over to where I have my fountain transparency, and click on elliptical fountain what? Transparency. Yes, you got that right. So next thing I need to do is I'm going to set this to screen just like this, and I'm going to go back to my pick tool. Then I'm going to use this to drag to this point here like this. So I'll duplicate this and put this also at this point. Duplicate it again, Ctrl C, Ctrl V, and make it smaller so I can put it somewhere along the line here like this. Zoom close to see what I'm doing clearly, and bring some somewhere around here. For this one, I will change the color to yellow, so I'll just select yellow. So it gives me that cool effect that I want. As you can see now, we have our clouds on our imaginary city inside the phone. Wow, good. So the next thing we need to do is we need to bring in the next element for this design, which is the car. So go over to where I have my resource file, and we're going to bring in this nice Mercedes Benz, right? So drag and drop like we've done for the other elements, and this is what you get. So because the size is too big, of course we need to resize. I'll just make this smaller like this, and make it small. Of course, Coreldraw gives you the flexibility to do anything around, you know, and still bring it inside. I think that's one of the best thing about Coreldraw, right? I'm just going to make this smaller, and I'm going to bring it to this point, right? I'm going to move it to the actual place that I want it to be, and just so this doesn't get in the way, I might want to reduce the size of these guys here. So I'm just going to click on them and reduce the size just a little bit like this. I'm going to move it in place, and also I'm going to move this phone and everything else I have going on here. Just move it to the side a bit, just so my car aligns well, right? I'm still going to make it smaller, and I think I'm cool with it here. I'm going to select all of this and make it smaller too, so it doesn't consume all the whole space I have in my design, right? I might have to move all of this up, right? Move all of this up here like this, and also move my car a little bit upward just like this, and move this to the side so it doesn't consume all that I have there. So I'm just going to resize this and make it a little bit smaller. Zoom close so none of the information is hidden behind the car, right? So this is the safe place I want my car to be. I might want to move direction of this phone so the car seems as if it's coming from inside the phone, right? At this point, perfect, right? So I'll move this cloud inside just a little bit so it's not outside. Make sure you don't have anything outside on this point, right? Good. So having done this, I want to create a realistic effect from this car too. So what I want to do is I want to create a lighting effect on the light I have here. So what I would need to do is I'll go over to my ellipse tool, I'll draw a perfect ellipse, hold down my control key, and I'll go over to my color and select whites, right? Just like we did with the former one, I'm going to click on transparency too, and I'm going to click on fountain transparency and click on what? Elliptical fountain transparency, guys. Good. So as it is now, I have this light effects. Last thing, I have to go back and change it to what? Screen, right? Whenever you're doing anything that has to do with lights, make sure you use screen for your blending mode. So what I'll do here is I'm going to bring this here just like this, and Ctrl C, Ctrl V to duplicate it and put it this way, but I'm going to make this one smaller, right? So I'm going to select the two lights I have here. Make sure you're selecting the two lights, right? Ctrl C and Ctrl V to make a duplicate copy of it, and I'm going to put this here, right? I'm going to make this one smaller, and make sure you put it directly above where the light is coming from. So on this one I have here, right, I'm going to press Ctrl C and Ctrl V, and I'm going to change the color to this yellow I have here. I'm going to make it smaller, and Ctrl C, Ctrl V. Again, I'm going to put it here, and I'm going to duplicate it, Ctrl C and Ctrl V, right? So this is how I created the light effect for this particular flyer, right? As you can see from this design, you need to make sure your typography is in line and everything else. As you can see, this starting price is not in line, so I'll just have to move it to this point here, and of course I'll have to drag this dollar to this point, and probably I have to make this bigger, and so I'll make this bigger so it's visible from afar. Okay guys, this is how I created this design in Coreldraw. Now if you've liked this video and you want to see more of this video, please kindly hit the thumbs up. If you're watching, please don't forget to hit the thumbs up, and if you want to see more of these videos, please share, like, and drop your comments in the comment section. If you want to see any tutorial, please drop it in the comment section and I'll be sure to make these tutorials for you guys. Till then, I'll see you in the next video. Ciao.